This week, we don't have a ton of updates, but the ones that we do are really important. You are not going to want to miss this week's weekly breakdown coming up right now. All right, guys, first up this week, we've got an update to dashboards that's really exciting. In the dashboards, you now should see this new button called Quick Filters. By the way, if you're not using dashboards already, which I know a lot of you guys aren't, I know a lot of you guys leave just the default dashboard on there and just, oh, this is cool. No, guys, the customization that you can do with the dashboard and the custom modules, the different data that you can represent in different ways, there's so much that you can do with this. And in my opinion, we should all be focused on making sure that our dashboard is like the hub for our business, right? Something that tells us everything that we need to know at a glance, and kind of feeds like where we dive into our CRM from there. And so if you're not using this already, you should be. I've got an example of an account that is using their dashboard right now. They've got appointments today. They've got a couple metrics for their lead gen. We've got leads down here that I'm not going to scroll through because then we'll have to edit their information out. But this is an example of a dashboard that is being used currently. All of our lead gen clients have a dashboard that looks like this. So what's new is now this with quick filters, we can add these filters that allow us to do quick changes in the way data is represented in like instantly. So I just did assigned user. So now assigned user, I can come in here and I can either say, hey, make this the logged in user and have that be the default so that no matter who's looking at this, it's showing their data. Or I can toggle through these and I can look and see, okay, how is this person doing? How is this person doing? Right? So I've got different options there. There's a lot of different things that we can do. This is just one. The assigned owner of a contact is just one of these, right? But if we come in here, we can change our data sources based on what data we have on here. So if I had opportunities in here, then opportunities would be one of the data sources that I could pick. So I'm going to pick appointments, and then I can come in here and I can say, all right, do this. I only want to see appointments that are in the calendar or in the group. We'll go here, hit this drop down. All right, it's got to be my personal calendar. It's got to be this calendar. So whatever it is, this is a really cool feature. This is likely just the beginning of more customization and flexibility with the dashboard. Typically when we see a new feature release like this, a big one like this, it's usually accompanied by other stuff that's coming too. So really excited to see what continues to come down the pipeline for dashboards in HighLevel. Check it out if you aren't already. This is a huge feature that too many people are sleeping on. All right, next up, the chat widget has gotten an update where now you can combine all of the chat channels that the chat widget supports into one unified chat experience. To be honest with you, from the user side, I'm not exactly sure like how I feel about this. It doesn't seem like a use case that I could see a lot of people using. Maybe it's just right now because they have the only two channels that they have are live chat and email and SMS chat. Maybe that's why I feel like that. But basically, if you look here, this is what it looks like to the end user. If I come in, the only two options that WhatsApp, if you use WhatsApp, these are my three options, and then they come in and they can pick one of those three options. So I mean, kind of cool. I don't necessarily see a lot of people in the mortgage industry using this, but it's there. Let me know if I'm wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. I love seeing creative implementation of features that I just didn't have the creativity or the foresight to see the use of. So definitely show me if you have an idea for how you want to use this. But otherwise, this is now a all-in-one chat experience offered through the chat widget. So again, you just hit new here, and then this option is completely new, so you can select that there. All right, speaking of multiple channels of unified chat experiences, reputation management. They're doing some work on reputation management. Now, I honestly don't use the reputation management section all that much. Our clients don't use it all that much because they haven't granted a lot of flexibility to like what you send when you send a review request. So there's no logic built into it. So like if you build your review request, or you build a review request campaign in a workflow, it's always kind of been such that like that would be you have much more flexibility when you do it that way. Essentially, there are some benefits to the review request. The benefits would be being able to stop the review request at the point that a review is received. That is one thing that you can't do. You can't trigger workflow. Oh, yes, you can. You can trigger workflows off of a review being review being received, but it's not tied to the individual that you're sending that request to. It's just like if you've ever used a listing management tool or like a review request tool or like a Bird Eye or anything like that, it's just more in alignment with those experiences. Again, I don't necessarily see the value in it as much. If you just use automation to create your review follow-up campaigns, that seems like it would do everything that you want it to do. But if you feel differently, again, just like that last feature, if you're using this with a lot of success, I would love to hear about it, but we don't necessarily see our clients do that much with it. The new feature, the new functionality in here is that you now have multiple channels that you can send these review requests from. Now, you can't combine all of them. You still have to pick one or the other, but maybe that's what's next, is being able to combine all of these. But then once again, you kind of just have a workflow. So again, another feature that it's like, yeah, it's cool, it's here, but I wouldn't feel bad if you see this on the side and you never go to it, you never check it out. I think the best thing about the review management section is the ability to kind of combine all of your reviews in one spot, create a review widget that you can post on your site that combines all your different reviews. You can even link up to like Zillow in here. You can do review balancing so that you like get reviews on different sites and whatnot. So there is some cool stuff in here. Again, I just don't necessarily see a lot of people in the mortgage industry leveraging it. One last thing on the review requests, actually. So you have the ability now, this is something that they announced last week, but it didn't make it on last week's weekly breakdown because I couldn't figure out how to do it. But now here we are. You in the email, like if you select email as your review request option, then you have the ability to create templates, email builder templates, and map them essentially in here. So if you come in here, right, this is new template right here. You have to create those templates first, and you would create them right in here. So they're email builder templates. I believe you're going to be able to pull in templates that you've created before. Nope, starts completely brand new. So this is a fairly new feature. Cool that we can access the email builder in here. Not super cool that it doesn't already pull in our email builder templates so that we could just pick one of those. But I'm sure that's coming down the pipeline. So that's it for reputation management. All right, next up, we've got a really exciting update to opportunities inside of workflows. Guys, if you haven't heard about this already, this is huge. It does come with like a little bit of a warning or a caution with it. So yeah, let's jump into that. If you didn't know, we have the ability to now find opportunities, and then also we've separated, HighLevel has separated create opportunity and update opportunity. So whereas before create update opportunity was the only option that we had, and that led to a lot of issues with either having duplicate opportunities or not being able to manage multiple opportunities in the same pipeline. Now we have the ability to find an opportunity and then create workflow or create a path based on whether or not we found that opportunity. For example, if we come in here, we say, all right, I want to see the most recently created opportunity where, you know, I can come in and I can go to my custom fields. Oh, none of my custom fields are searchable right now. But like for us, for example, we put loan numbers inside of the opportunity names. So a pipeline sync coming from Arrive, for example, I could come in here and I could say opportunity name contains, and I can put a loan number in here so that now I know that I'm updating the right opportunity and I'm not creating a duplicate opportunity, right? So I'll go in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We save that. Boom. Then there's a path for if we found the opportunity and a path for if we didn't find the opportunity. So if we want to create an opportunity now, we can, but if not, we could just have nothing going on. We can have an internal notification, right? If there's supposed to be an opportunity here and we get over here and there's not, then I would recommend setting up some sort of notification, error on update loan workflow or whatever it is right there. Okay. Message test. So we've got that, and then let's say the opportunity is found. Now we want to update that opportunity. Okay, so we can update this opportunity. We can grab this. Duplicate opportunity is enabled. Allow opportunity to move to any previous stage in the pipeline. So we've got some options here, and we come down here and we say, hey, this is what we want to update. So anyways, really cool features. What it does, the caution that it comes with is that now your create update opportunity stage is getting this action deprecation notice. So if you see this, that's what that means. It means, hey, we've split these actions into create and update. I'd like to see them keep create update also, but we'll see if they do that. They've split the actions between create and update. If you want this functionality, you can recreate it, but they are not going to keep this action around according to them. And so if you see this, that's what that means. I can't imagine they're just going to yank this out from anybody, out from under anybody anytime soon. But just know, as you create workflows, the reason that they're showing you this is because they want you to do a create and update opportunity by separating those two if you want that functionality. Otherwise, you now have more flexibility in how you want to manage your opportunities. I just noticed my camera thing was missing. It really threw me off, but that's all right. We're on our last update here. So this last update is more of a caution than anything. Again, I had a little bit of a caution on the last one. This one's a huge caution. A2P is coming back with a vengeance. What does that mean? It means Twilio is strengthening up their requirements. They're hardening their requirements, toughening their requirements. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Basically, they're making it harder to get approved for A2P. Now, our clients have nothing to be worried about with this. We kind of pioneered the getting approvals inside the mortgage industry. If you guys remember, in fact, some places are still telling mortgage brokers that you can't get approved for A2P, and that is not the case. We've been dealing with this since A2P was a thing, since long before anybody else knew that A2P was a thing. So with that being said, our clients have nothing to worry about. We're figuring out what the requirements are. We're meeting those requirements. We're getting clients approved. It is what it is. But those of you guys that are not clients, those of you guys that are starting to get comfortable setting this kind of stuff up on your own, just be careful. We're hearing of a lot more rejections. Those submissions, they cost you money every time you submit. And so just make sure that you are dotting your I's, crossing your T's. I recommend getting on with somebody at HighLevel or somebody at Twilio, getting a better idea of the new requirements. We'll release some content around it here pretty soon as we understand them better and what's actually a requirement versus what's just being told to us is a requirement at this point. So anyways, that's what this is right here. It says enhanced terms and conditions for compliance. You've seen multiple updates coming from HighLevel in the last few weeks just around terms and conditions compliance, A2P compliance, meaning they are getting their hands slapped more and more, and they are going to be coming down on the users to try and get better submissions out of them. Okay. So a couple things that they've added, like splitting up two different consent boxes for transactional relationships or transactional messages versus marketing related messages. So to me, it's like if you only have promotional, do you need the transactional? I don't think so, but at the same time, we've heard reps coming back and saying, hey, we need two different opt-in boxes. So this is just how it goes. Nobody really knows exactly what's going on. They just know that they're getting more rejections, and so they just reach and they try to get more and more and more and more compliance out of you without really understanding what that means. Sounds familiar, right? Sounds a little bit like some of the other regulations that we've seen in the mortgage industry. So with that said, check this out. Enhanced terms and conditions for compliance, and again, just let this be this piece, it by itself is not super important, but let this be a warning and a reminder to make sure that you're double checking what the new requirements are, or you're going to end up paying extra and waiting longer for your A2P submissions. All right, guys, that is it for this week's weekly breakdown. A couple really exciting updates and a couple updates that you definitely need to lean into a little bit, specifically around the compliance and making sure that you're getting A2P approved, assuming that you're not an Empower client. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching again this week. We'll see you next week, but until then, we'll see you at the top.